Hey everybody, Johnny Flyer, and talking through just another project. This one though, a very special one. So this is an American Flyer 326. This is the New York Central, and this one belonged to my grandfather. He bought it back in the 1950s, and gave it to my mother as a Christmas present one year. And it has held up very, very nicely. It smokes well, runs okay, but needs some TLC. I sent it out before I really started getting into flyer repair, and had somebody work on it. And it was pretty clear to me that they had sort of not done a very good job, or at least not done the kind of job that I would want somebody to do to my train. So I took off the bottom plate, and this is what sort of did it for me. You could tell he didn't even bother to clear out the grease at all. He just kind of threw some more in there, and a lot of gunk. And then didn't really clean off the contacts, and everything here just kind of looked untouched. Yeah, there you go. Same with this. I've done a little bit of shining up of the wheels here already, but contacts not in real great shape. And the springs on one of these two here, a little bit, I don't know, it's lost its spring, so to speak. So need to replace that probably. Tried pulling it out and stretching it back out, but the metal is really worn. So I want to take this thing apart carefully and hopefully get her back into where she was at purchase about 70 years ago. So that's it. We'll keep giving you some updates. So I got everything disassembled, and I got to be honest, I'm a little disappointed in myself. So train is in really good condition, considering, again, the age. But so I had this particular locomotive serviced, and again, this was my grandfather's train, and I didn't want to damage it as a newbie. I wasn't sure I trusted myself to break it open. So, having done a couple of engines now and broken them open and taken a look, I'm feeling a little more confident about it. So I took this particular engine, broke it open, and I looked at what I'd spent. I won't tell you how much, but I had spent a decent amount of money to try to get it cleaned up and running again. And I'm going to make some folks mad with what I'm about to say, because I recognize I'm a new guy to the flyer community and to the model train community. But I could have definitely done a better job than this guy did. And I'm here to tell you that, folks, if you're looking for somebody who's willing to clean up your engines and put some effort into it because they love trains and not because they're trying to make some money, contact me and let me know. There's also some other guys who are much more experienced than I who will probably do a hell of a lot better job than even I would do. But I'm telling you, I'm disappointed. So here's why. So I broke it open, and I took off the plate down here at the bottom, and it looked like all he did was just cake more grease on top of the bad. And that's I mean, what you can kind of see there is new grease, and if you look back further by the gears there, there's some old gunk that's kind of stuck in there. So I was wondering why the engine was running sluggishly, and there's your question, answer to your question. The entire smoke box shows a lot of corrosion and probably old fluid. It's been just sort of caked onto the side. No, I would have, if it had been me, I would have cleaned it off. And same issue over here. But what really annoys me, and I'm a gun guy too, so I shoot pretty frequently, and I use certain types of very high temperature grease because of the temperatures that occur when you fire guns. But you can see this engine has been slinging grease, or slinging oil. You can see it on my finger, but essentially it looked to me like whoever had done the servicing on here had just dumped a bunch of lubricant on it, and as the engine started to turn, gosh, it even threw stuff up on the coils here. It just started to throw things up inside the engine. Now I've already cleaned out the inside of the frame here, but and you can't really see it, but there was a lot of stuff kind of thrown up in here too. So what I've learned from both shooting guns and a limited amount of time on the flyers here is a little goes a long way. And what you're trying to do is keep metal parts from hitting bare metal without some kind of lubricant. You don't have to bathe it in grease or in oil. A minimalist thing is a good thing, and I will tell you, as a guy who has gone to different places to use firearms, that philosophy has generally remained true. Now, to whoever the guy was that did the service on this engine, to his credit, everything seems to work pretty well. Yeah, I just don't think anything was cleaned up first, and that's probably what I would have done, is strip it down a bit further than he did and give it a good kind of once over. And I want to break open the armature assembly here and see how we're doing, but I'm willing to bet some good money that the face of the armature there is probably got some nice black corrosion from the carbon. Gosh, I'm going to remember the nomenclature here one of these days, but it's probably not going to take some shining here. Oh boy, let's not do that. So, got some work to do still on Granddad's train, but I intend to go to the nines on this one and make sure that it's done right. So, anyway, that's not necessarily a commercial for me to tell you how much I want to work on your trains. It's just I take a lot of pride in the work that I do, and I take a lot of pride in this particular train, but in American Flyers in general. And I fully believe that your quality of work is your signature, and if that's the case, I don't think I would have wanted to sign off on this, but that's me. So anyway, enough lambasting of whoever the poor soul was that did this, and I'm going to get to work. So to me, and I know I'm taking a shot at the guy again, but to me, this is what the beginnings of a real maintenance session should look like. So I got all that out of the mess that was down here. You see, I cleaned it out a little bit. Still got a little bit of cleaning to do, but this is probably 70 years of grease and gunk that wasn't taken out before we put more grease on the bed. That's kind of, I imagine that's probably what the underside of the of a high school desk looks like these days. But I don't know. I'm gonna get to cleaning it my way, and probably what I should have done in the first place. But this thing is really actually holding up pretty well. I noticed the wheels falling apart just a little bit. I'm going to use the Dave's method, and I'm going to call him out again. But Dave's got a great YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. He's far more experienced than I, and he's a lot more meticulous than I am probably. But Dave's AF Trains is the site, and he has a method of putting these back on that saves a couple of dollars, just using a little bit of super glue. So I'm going to do that because I've done that on some other trains with good effect. I do see on this, now that I'm kind of know what I'm looking at a little better, if you can see it, the pull more material, it's on these front two tires, it is starting to come off a little bit, but it's good enough right now where I think we can wait. But that's going to be probably something we'll have to adjust and change here shortly. Oops, sorry about that. I'm going to have to adjust and replace here very shortly. So that's how Johnny Flyer does maintenance. But hey folks, I'm certainly not an expert at this, and I'm just trying to learn the ropes myself, and it's probably not my place to take a shot at a guy who did some work for us. But I don't know, maybe just my opinion on these things is, if you're going to take care of beautiful little trains like these, you might want to just put a little bit more elbow grease into it. But anyway, that's it for the desk. I'm going to rant over here and get to work on this beautiful old train.